Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Wasteland Workouts. I have actually, this will be my second time trying to film this one. I just too many issues. It is a little bit colder today, so I am going to be starting in a hoodie. And today you will need some weights, some bands if you've got them. We're going to attempt to do some rows. I am going to actually attempt to do a workout that I would normally do at my gym, but here, because maybe I just don't feel like leaving my shelter today to go to my gym. So as usual, I'm going to tell you to go ahead and start warmed up. Let's always be making sure we've got 7 to 10 minutes of warm up underway. Again, it can be walking. You can load up your favorite record and just dance for 7 to 10 minutes. We just got to get the blood flowing into the muscles at this point. So you're here, you showed up, and I'm super proud of you and happy to be working out with you today. Shout out to ApocaFitness and some of the other folks who have been sending me some great feedback, and I really appreciate you. And yeah, we'll just get right into it. So the first thing we're going to start with is a banded row. You can choose a lighter band, but I think I'm going to at least start with the extra heavy. You can loop yours around your couch or something heavy. I'm going to loop mine around my feet. So I'm going to start with a straight back. And what I'm going to feel for here is first of all, we're going to talk about the mind-body or mind-muscle connection. We're going to feel it here in these muscles back here in the lat muscles. And these are these long, flat muscles that run along your back on the side here. And they're big and flat muscles. I do recommend going ahead and looking them up in maybe an encyclopedia you might have lying around, so you can kind of practice that mind-muscle connection. Now we can go underhand or we can go overhand. If I'm at the gym, I'm normally going to try to create be on a row machine. I'm going to create the longest range of motion that I can. So I'm going to kind of lean forward into each repetition. So I'm going to pull back. For this one, this one is a little bit heavy. I'm really feeling the engagement there. I'm going to hold it for a couple of seconds, and we're going to go release, okay? And we're just going to try to get as much range of motion out of this as we can. And one of the things that I'm doing is I'm pretending like I'm trying to keep something under my armpits, like maybe there's an orange one until I get to this length. But as I'm pulling close to me, as I'm doing the pulling
boom, boom
in
goes
motion,
the sky above.
okay,
Fireworks of a brand new love. In the wild world of dreams, atomic love ain't what it seems. Twirling skirts and spinning tops. In this dance we hear the pops radiate with all the fun. Underneath the glowing sun, atomic love is in the air. Electric sparks beyond compare. Dynamite in every glance. Come on, baby, let's take a chance. From Manhattan to the stars, rocket hearts and steel guitars. Every spark lights up the night. Kiss me under neon lights.
And as we're coming, the eccentric movement, which is the movement out, so this is concentric and eccentric.
In this world of new frontiers, love explodes like chandeliers. In the dazzle of your eyes, we light up these endless skies. Atomic love is in the air. Electric sparks beyond compare. Dynamite in every glance. Come on, baby, let's take a chance.
Especially if I'm at the gym, I will do my last few sets. I will do them really slowly if I can, and I'll do a lighter weight so that I can get more time and attention to the muscles, okay? While we are doing strength training, I'm also trying to grow my muscles. Not huge, not yet. perspective is going to be a bent over row. So bent over row, we're going to talk about the basics of the movement. One of the cues I like is to have that flat back. And we're going to do a pull up motion. And we're going to pretend like between our shoulder blades, kind of like between where my fingers are pointing, that we're trying to keep, as we pull up, that there is, I don't know, a bottle of room for something in between the shoulder blades that we're trying to keep there and prevent from moving. Okay? We also want to pretend like we have some huge fruit under our armpits that we need to not drop. Okay? So we want to keep our arms kind of glued to our lats there, and just like I didn't post that video, but there's a couple of different grips you can do. I do recommend a hook grip for this one, just for keeping the movements to feel more even. Well, actually I'm going to do an underhanded grip. So we can go ahead and begin. I like to do mine just slightly wider than shoulder width. I'm going to bend over and I'm going to start my movement. I'm going to hold at the top just a little. If you want a really long range of motion, you can come all the way down, up. This is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now mine weighs about 75 pounds. You don't need to go that heavy. You may not be there, and that's okay. If you only have dumbbells, we can work on dumbbells too. It's the same concept. This one you can probably do some more free movements. Same concept, okay? It's probably going to be a little bit harder to follow that cue of the mute fruit in the armpits, but sort of the same concept. I'm not counting that. Okay. So again, we're doing hip width apart, shoulder width apart, and we're crossing them. We're going out. I'm gonna go slowly down to, remember, it's progressive overload, so how much weight we add over time, and time under tension to grow your muscles. Okay, it's 4, 5, 6, remember, control, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now on those flies, that you're probably, well, I personally cannot do a lot of weight on those. So this one might be challenging for some folks because you may not have a place to hang these, which I don't really either. Huh. Let's do this. Oh, Jesus. Okay, so the next one we're going to do is face pulls. So all I've done is pulled these up above me, and it kind of works for a face pull. What you're wanting is to feel the upper back engage and contract. These are called face pulls, so you kind of pull them to your ears, okay? So let's do 12 of these. That's 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm really squeezing at the top. 7, 8, 9, 10. I know I said 10, but let's do 12 because this is really light. 11, 12. And I think we could do something that resembles lat pull downs here. Do different grips. You can do a more narrow grip, which is also going to hit your biceps. Okay, maybe you can kind of see the way I'm doing this. I'm pulling down, firmly against my lats, engaging my lats and my biceps. If I do a wider grip and I come out here instead, it's going to be more lat engagement, okay? But if you pull down into a more narrow grip, it's going to be both lats and biceps. You're going to find those exercises easier because you have more muscle groups engaged. So let's go ahead and do, let's do 12 of these, 12 to 15. So I think I'm on 4. I'm opting for the more narrow grip, 5. I'm pausing at the contraction, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Okay, and then we can do one more. Let's do a let's do a deadlift. It's going to be a Romanian deadlift. Okay, this is a very good functional exercise. It is a compound movement, so it targets quite a few muscle groups. I would consider it a foundational movement. Basically, it's designed to engage your entire posterior chain, which is going to be your hamstrings, your glutes, your lower back. And it really focuses in on the hinge mechanics, strength, mobility, and stability. A conventional deadlift, it focuses on controlled lighter loads and maintaining the tension throughout the movement. So we're going to stand with our feet hip width apart, holding a barbell. You can do this with dumbbells. You can even do like a kettlebell in front of your thighs with an overhand grip. You could even do bands. Okay, it's probably not going to be as effective. I'm just trying to one up for myself. I'm going to try to pull it closer to the bottom. Yeah, I don't know if the bands are going to be as good as those other things, but if that's all you've got, that's all you've got. I am going to do a barbell with 75 pounds, which is pretty light for me. So again, we're going to start with the, if you're using a barbell, you're going to do it with the bar's going to come over the middle of your foot. I'm not sure if you can see that. You can, great. And we're going to keep a slight bend in the knees, okay? It doesn't have to be a big bend. It's not a regular deadlift. It's a Romanian. So a slight bend in the knees. You want a soft bend because if you do straight, you are going to get a really good posterior chain tension, but you'll probably pass out. So, and then you'll want to engage your core. You're going to embrace your abs. Somebody's like about to punch you in the stomach. And then you want to hold your weight securely and keep your shoulders pulled back, kind of retracted, right? And keep your chest out and proud and back flat. Again, we're trying to like fly. A plane should be able to like land on it or take off. A little tiny plane, but still a plane. And you want your chin slightly tucked so that you have a neutral spine. And we're not doing this. We're just going to have a nice flat neutral spine. And you're going to begin the movement by pushing your hips backwards, right? So we've got this is where I like to start, as if you're like closing the door with your glutes, right? Throwing it back, lower the weight. So it's typically started, I would typically start this at the gym up here, and then I will lower it. I'll come down here, and then we're going to pull back up. We're not going to break our tension. We're just going to keep on. We're going to hinge at the hips, and we're going to lower down, okay? Up, okay? Now again, we're going to focus on that eccentric movement, which is the move on the way down. And we're going to pretend we have that mute fruit in our armpits, and that we're trying to keep them from falling out of our armpits. So we're going to keep that line of tension. I think we're on 4. We're going to come down 5. Okay. I have a hook grip 6. If you need to adjust your grip wider or more narrow. It just depends on your anatomy. 7. 8. 9. And 10. I did not start a timer on this, but I should have, because this is actually my workout today. So the lowering phase, let's talk about it. So when you're lowering your weight, you're going to feel that deep stretch in your hamstring. You'll feel that deep stretch in your hamstrings whenever it's like mid-level. The straighter your legs are, the more you're going to feel it. Again, I don't recommend straightening your legs all the way out. It will cause a loss of blood supply, and you're already doing, if you're prone to passing out to if you have low blood pressure, this might not even be a safe exercise for you. As usual, consult your doctor, consult a physician, consult your physical therapist, whatever your condition is, before you start a workout. Basically, you want to keep your gaze in the same direction. I keep mine slightly forward so that my alignment is always correct. Now, obviously, if I'm talking to you, if I'm turning to the camera and looking at you, it's not always going to be correct. So for the lifting phase, we're driving through the heels, okay? And you're squeezing your glutes as you push your hips forward to return it to your starting position. So let's talk about that. So we're gonna do hip width apart. I'm doing a mixed grip because I have problems with my grip. I am pushing through my heels, right? I'm coming down. I'm maintaining that gaze so that I have that flat back. Right here is where I'm really feeling that engagement of the hamstring. I'm coming back up, pushing through the heels, driving through the heels, and squeezing my glutes as I come to the top, okay? So let's do that one fluid movement. We're keeping the bar very close to the shins. Pull through the heels, and squeeze the glutes at the top, okay? So, all right, and we're gonna do the whole series over again. Grip. I'm getting comfortable. I'm doing the bend over, and let's go for 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hold it at the top, slow on the way down, and we're gonna rest for a few seconds, get a drink of water if you need to, and then we'll move on to, I don't even remember. It looks like the next exercises were actually the mid rows, which I kind of wanted to do a little heavier band with those since I'm not going to the gym today. Normally I would do, normally I would start with like a cable machine, the low rows, and I would start with 140. I would do as many as I could of that. I would step it down to 120 or 100, do as many as I could of that. These are called drop sets. Then I would drop it down to 85 or 70, do as many of those as I can. I usually do it in increments of 3 like that, and then I'll do all of my sets that way. If you're a more advanced lifter, I do recommend doing at least one day a week where you do nothing but drop sets for your main compound exercises. So for this one, I've got this is supposed to emulate 40 pounds, so let's do one that emulates 50 pounds, okay? I want to make sure I'm holding them evenly, and again, this really does not feel like 50 pounds, so I'm going to really engage all of my back muscles here, and then I'm going to let the eccentric movement go as slow as I can. Again, I'm going to try to pull more, so that's 2, 3, slow eccentric, you got this, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, really engage those lats. Okay, make it count. 10, hold, really slowly out. Again, if you want more elongated muscles, more range of motion, I'm sorry. I think I was on 10, so this must be 11. We're going for real slow here, hypertrophy and strength. 8, whoops, 12. Yes, I can't count. 13, 14, and if you can only do 8 to 12, it's fine. 15. Like I said, I usually just do way more weight than this. So if this is actually emulating 50 pounds, I don't know. It feels very, very light to me. Oh yeah, we did face pulls. So we're gonna do some more attempts at face pulls. I may actually end up going to the gym anyway, just because these are just very, very light compared to what I usually do. Again, we're thinking about pulling, and actually you should probably cross them. I'm just trying to think about how to get a more narrow grip. I don't usually use resistance bands, but so you can see I am going for between my, or basically pulling to my ears. We're gonna hold 2, slow eccentric 3, as heavy as you can do 4, and if you're doing this at the gym, congratulations, do it as heavy as you can go for at least 8 to 12. I just said 4, right? 5, 6, 7, and you may need to do these standing up, by the way. You don't have to do these like this. I'm just doing this so that you can see me. 8, God, did I say 7? 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. So I got 10 pounds here. It's gonna be these flies again, so we're just gonna kind of come out to the side. We're really focusing on our mid-back here. Delts, kind of, it's a big compound movement, so there's several muscles engaged. So it's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And then I think we also attempted to do some semblance of a lat pull down. We're gonna rest for just a few seconds, and we're gonna then attempt to do some semblance of a lat pull down. These ones I have for the lat pull downs are only 20 pounds. So if you need to increase or decrease, if you are lucky enough to be in a gym, or if you just have better equipment at home, then adjust as you need to, adjust for your level. These workouts are targeted towards beginners and people who maybe aren't feeling that confident. So that's what these first several sets of workouts that I've designed are really designed to get new folks a little more comfortable and getting that form perfect before we start really trying to lift heavier. All right. So in an attempt to get a little more directly underneath this, I am doing a little wider grip this time, and it's lightweight. 2, we're gonna hold that contraction at the bottom. And I'm gonna try to just show from different angles what this kind of should look like. Of course, that's not right. Now I've moved myself where it's not gonna let me pull it down correctly. Again, you can do a wider grip on this. The wider the grip, the wider the back is going to look. Okay, and what happens when you have a wider chest, a wider back, a wider, broader shoulders? It's gonna make your waist look smaller. I'm not sure which number I'm on, maybe 9, 8. We'll say that was 8, 9. Going really slowly, so we want to build muscles. 10, 11, really hold that contraction. That mind-muscle connection is really a big important part. And 12. Okay, perfect. Okay, so we're going back to the Romanian deadlift. So just some things to remember before we head into our second set of Romanian deadlifts. You'll also, you're gonna have your chest up and also keep the bar really close to your body. The further you have it out, the more challenging it's gonna be, the more likely you are to fall over, create imbalances, that kind of thing. And the common practice is to, push to where you can feel the stretch. You don't need to move beyond that range of motion. Just to where you feel that stretch in your hamstring. And again, it's usually mid shin or so. If you are lifting with Olympic plates, you're not going to have as big a range of motion. You can set up yourself up for a deficit deadlift, which is where you would be on an elevated surface. So you could bring that range of motion down further and then driving through the heels. So let's set up to do our next set of Romanians. So you can do them with dumbbells. I'm doing them with my barbell, and I'm doing a mixed grip. Anyway, we can go ahead and start. I'm starting at the top with my feet hip width apart, keeping the bar very close, waiting till I feel the stretch, coming back up, squeezing my glutes at the top, keeping my abs engaged, and making sure I'm keeping those mute fruit from falling from my armpits. Okay. It's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. And then we're going to do it all over again. So take a nice rest. I do recommend also resting between sets. Maybe I should have said that in the beginning. So for women, people with the female anatomy, we recover much faster. So you do not need to rest nearly as long as it is typically recommended. I think the amount of rest you do really depends on what you're wanting to get out of it. For me, I typically will choose between 2 and 3 minutes. For bigger compound movements, I might do even between 3 and 4 if I'm doing really big drop sets, what we talked about earlier. If I'm doing a quick workout, I might only rest for 1 minute and 30, especially if I'm just doing biceps or so. So we've done 2 sets. I don't know how long this workout is going to be at the end of the day. Let's see, we've been at it for 45 minutes, almost 45 minutes. So we could do those 2 sets. We could also incorporate some just biceps, but I may just do not a full set for the next round. I'm just trying to keep it manageable for everybody. But this is as close as I can probably get for now to emulating one of my gym workouts. You can go ahead and, is there a heavier one? I think the heaviest one is 50. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this one because it felt heavier than the other band for me. I don't think I have an alternative method to do this. So I'm going to set myself up, kind of push my toes out a little bit so I can get a little bit more tension in this band. And I'm just gonna, I think I'm gonna do single arm on this one. So we're just gonna hold the lat. If you're at the gym, I do recommend doing a twist, which gives you a little bit of workout on your forearm, gives you a little definition there. 2, I mean, I guess you can do it this way too, it's just not as obvious. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. I'm just going to hold it at 10. Go slowly on that eccentric. All right, same thing, other arm. Let's go. 1. Doing the twist. 2, hold just for a second. 3, 4, 5, 6. It's so cold in here, but I'm getting so sweaty. 7, 8, 9, and 10. Hold that 10. Really slowly let it out. All right, great. So bent over row for the next one. God, I really need to clean in here. It is doing the work that matters. I just mean it doesn't matter which weight you choose, okay? Mixed grip again. Actually, this one I'm not doing a mixed grip for. What am I doing? I'm gonna do an underhand grip. You can do any kind of grip you want. For me, this weight, I want to do underhand grip. Flat back. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is a little heavier than I usually go at the gym for bent over rows. All right, face pulls in the most ridiculous way that I can fathom, I guess. So again, you can do these standing up. They do not have to be sitting down. In fact, they probably shouldn't be. If you are lucky enough to have access to a gym or have a gym at home, there's a lot of other cool exercises you can do that I really enjoy doing for your back. If you want to see some more gym workouts, let me know, because they definitely not as much of a learning curve for me as these at-home ones. So we'll just begin. Remember, the cue is to aim for your ears. We're squeezing our shoulder blades together. It's 2, it's 3, 4, and I'm really engaging my lats too, just kind of squeezing all the back muscles. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And I think we gave up on doing the lat pull downs because this is just not, it's not really the way. You could do more like rows this way. So we can go straight into the lat pull downs. You can take a break if you want. Rest for a minute or two. But once you do that, just come right into this. I think this is 4, 5, and I'm really squeezing at each rep at the bottom or the top, however you want to look at it. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Safety. And I believe that we just have Romanian deadlifts. So one more set. Let's go. We're keeping our heels. We're driving through our heels. I'm doing a mixed grip. You do not have to do a mixed grip, but if you're just starting out, you may want to. Or if you have weak wrist, there's a number of reasons you could do a mixed grip, but mine is because that's just where I'm comfy. So, all right, we're starting the descent. Keep that back flat. 1. You can hear it against my clothes. 2, because I'm trying to keep it very close to my body. 3. 4. 5. 6. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I was probably really crappy on my last form there. Well, that is at least the start to getting a really strong back. There's some really foundational moves in this workout, and I think some okay explanations. If you need further detail or want more like better descriptors, if you have any feedback for me, please leave them down below in the comments. And thanks for showing up. Thanks for showing up for yourself. If you just keep showing up, even if it's just once a week, you're developing a habit. Don't try to make yourself do everything all at once. I don't think that is a good way to start a workout habit. It's a really great way to burn yourself out. Whenever I first started my journey, I hate that term, but when I first started to work out, I hired a personal trainer, and I think I went to Anytime Fitness, and they had really great prices. It just gave me that accountability to show up. I think I trained with her once or twice a week, and then I would do one more additional day by myself. It definitely was, the start of it was definitely to lose weight. I did not lose any weight. In fact, when I started my weight loss journey, I did nothing but gain weight. I ended up gaining more than 50 pounds. Anyway, it's a whole thing. If you have hormonal issues, definitely get those addressed first. Yeah, so yeah, that's how I started. I started off slow. I started off light. It was 30 minutes, 3 times a week. And now I go about 5 days a week, sometimes more, sometimes less, but on average 5 days a week, about an hour and a half to 2 hour workouts every day, all the days that I'm working out. There are occasions where I only work out for an hour. There's some days that I say, wow, I'm feeling really lazy. I'm just gonna do a short workout. But then I take my pre-workout, I get my headphones on, and I get in the zone. And then I'll lock in for like 2 hours on those days I'm feeling lazy. So it really, don't be too hard on yourself. If you're just starting your strength training, there's the hardest thing to do is just showing up. So if you're here, if you made it this far, you've already done most of the hard work. It's just showing up. Yeah, so, and most days I don't feel like working out either, but I'll just show up. And then it's, it just puts your mind in the right setting, in the right place, so that you'll actually follow through. Or at least that's what I found. So, thank you again for being here. I know it's hard out there in this like post-apocalyptic landscape. But if you're continuing to show up for yourself, you're doing the most, right? And you should be really proud of yourself. And thanks for showing up, Balties, Surfies, everybody in between.